Hey, YouTube viewers, subscribers, followers, and all that good jazz. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro users and friends list. Shout out to you guys. This is Rain Phoenix coming back, and I want to talk about some of these games that they have coming out, the remakes and stuff like that. And some of them are just really phenomenal, really good games. And seeing how good they did, Shadow of the Colossus and Tomb Raider. Well, no, Tomb Raider don't really count. What else did they come out with? Resident Evil 4, I say probably after seeing Shadow of the Colossus, yeah, it could have been better. Aside from having a platinum trophy, it should have had. But I want to talk mostly about the games that I would like to see come out. Now, with the exception of Days Gone, Death Stranding, Shenmue 3, Final Fantasy Remake, all that good stuff coming out. Seeing how good they did Shadow of the Colossus in some scenes, I definitely think they should. I mean, I know Tomb Raider already had a remake, but I'm not talking about the original Tomb Raider for the PS1. I think they should definitely redo Tomb Raider for the PS1. Seeing how good they did Shadow of the Colossus and stuff like that, like they definitely, like, okay, I took screenshots of Shadow of the Colossus. I'm quite sure many others did. I want to show some of the pictures that I took from Shadow of the Colossus, and after seeing how good everything is and how it turned out, I definitely think that there should be a remake of Tomb Raider, and don't just like rush it out. I think they should take their time with it. I would buy it. Probably any diehard Tomb Raider would. Not saying that I'm a diehard Tomb Raider fan, but I am a huge fan of Tomb Raider. And I think they should definitely remake Tomb Raider. Let's show some of the pictures that I took of Shadow of the Colossus. I don't know if it could take pictures in 4K, but keep in mind that I'm looking at this on a 4K 64-inch screen TV. And look at this. Look how good this turned out. There's a part in a cave that just really showed up really good, and I'm looking for it. 4 scenes came out good. Look how good that came out. There's some cave places. Look at this. Look at the lighting in this. Pretty soon I'll have an Elgato and I'll be able to do better streaming and better streaming, but I'll be able to take better pictures too. But I think you guys know what I mean when I say I'm glad this game got a remake. Look at this. Look at the lighting in this cave. You mean to tell me somebody at IDOS, or not IDOS, well, they used to be IDOS, Crystal Dynamics, or whoever made Tomb Raider, I think it was Crystal. You mean to tell me they can't redo Tomb Raider like this? I mean, look at that. Tomb Raider would be freaking crazy good in 4K HDR. That's what I think they should do. Remake Tomb Raider. And then take it a step farther and maybe remake Tomb Raider 2. Look at this. I don't know what I gotta delete that map. But you guys see what I'm saying? This is all taken from a PS4 Pro. Now some of those look blurry because I was like rushing through it. Some of these pictures are like just a second too late, and I forgot because I forgot to add the turn photo mode on. But you guys get what I'm saying. These are all some freaking crazy good pictures. Look at that. I'm underneath the water and look how clear the water is. These are some really phenomenal pictures. The game is phenomenal. The game is really good. And then there's like other games too. But you guys get what I'm saying. I think Tomb Raider is definitely in need of a remake. And I know they redid it for the PS3 already. This is really far-fetched. First of all, I want to thank Ubisoft too for giving me a game that I've been looking forward to even before they talked about the remake of it. Is Far Cry 3. Now sadly you only get it with Far Cry 5, and I was kind of hoping to have it before then, but you know, 2 games for the price of 1, I don't care. A game that I want to see come out with a remake also, aside from Far Cry 3, is Resident Evil 2, which is rumored to be in the making right now. I don't know if that's true or not. There's just so much coming out for the PlayStation already, and not all developers are taking. I mean, after seeing Resident Evil 4 remake and Resident Evil 5 remake and you know all this other stuff, or not Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5. I meant freaking what is I just had to let me look. I was just looking at it. I can't remember. It totally slipped my mind just that quick. But seeing that they redid all of those games really good. I mean, seeing how they did Shadow of the Colossus. You mean to tell me, Capcom, you can't redo Resident Evil 4 or even that crappy 6? You mean to tell me you can't do those in 4K HDR? Granted, they came out way before HDR was even probably talked about. But you mean to tell me you can't come out with a patch for that? You mean to tell me you can't update those graphics to 4K? You couldn't have updated those graphics to 4K. Like, if you're gonna remake a game, do it right. Granted, I have not made a game in never. And let's talk about the good games that they remade. Tomb Raider. No, I don't want to go start with Tomb Raider yet. God of War 3 remastered. And I don't call them remakes. Resident Evil 1 is a remake because they changed the whole mansion design to that. I'm not a huge fan of Resident Evil 1 remake anymore. And the reason I call it a remake because it's not Resident Evil 1. They changed like 80 to 85% of the original puzzles in that game. Like, okay, I know why they did it, just so to keep you on your toes. But if you're gonna change that much in the game, don't even call it Resident Evil. And I know I don't mean to nitpick, but putting BSAA costumes just for added content shouldn't even be in a Resident Evil game before Resident Evil 5. That's Resident Evil 1 way before BSAA even took place. So why are there BSAA costumes in the Resident Evil 1 remake? That's a whole nother discussion. but they also redid the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. They did Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen. They did Far Cry 4. Now, granted, Far Cry 4 came out on the PS4 first, I think. They did Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. They did Shadow of the Colossus, freaking Heavy Rain, Beyond Two. All of these games look good, but you mean to tell me you guys can't come out with an update patch? I mean, not that nobody would play them again, but for people who may want to play those games, you know, needs to give some sort of makeover or something with HDR in it or something. And let's even, I mean, granted, look how many people still play Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm not a huge Grand Theft Auto fan, but at the same time, you got other people that are out there that still play Grand Theft Auto 5. Granted, not everybody has a 4K HDR TV. I get that. But for the people that do, like, they're so focused on people that, oh, well, these people don't have it, so let's keep it watered down for them. But it don't seem like you, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Sony said, oh, well, with the PS4, we're going to make all these devs come up with update patches, 4K patches for their games. I've been waiting forever for one. I recently got into playing Grand Theft Auto 5. And I've been waiting. I bought Grand Theft Auto back in October or September. Either way, I've been waiting since last year for a 4K or HDR patch for Grand Theft Auto 5. Guess what hasn't come out? A lot of these games are really good, but they need to do a lot of work on. Like I said, Uncharted. That's got, I think Uncharted is in Uncharted, Nathan Drake. If anybody know, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. But if I'm not mistaken, which I probably am, don't quote me on it. But I think Uncharted Nathan Drake collection is in 4K at least. If not, it's checkerboarded. And that's another thing I want to talk about. Sony, I don't want to see, I mean, granted, you can't tell the difference, but still, I spent $1,300 on an LG 64-inch screen 4K, Super UHD 4K Quantum Dot TV, 4K HDR Dolby Vision TV. I don't want to see checkerboard. I don't want to see upscaling. I want to see full-on native 4K. Now, like I said, granted, you can't really tell the difference, but I don't want something that you can't tell the difference. Because that's like saying you're drinking milk and it has a little bit of water in it, or we're going to put a little bit of pop or soda in it, but you won't be able to tell it because it'll still taste like milk. Like, that's wrong to me. You can't just say we're going to put something, we're going to have a PS4 Pro and like not have native 4K. Now, granted, okay, Horizon Zero Dawn looks good. Let's find some Horizon Zero Dawn pictures. Let's look for Horizon Zero Dawn right here. Let's look at this. Look at these. These are freaking gorgeous pictures. Now it looks a little bit blurred, but that's because it's an action picture. It's moving. Let me find some better pictures here. Look how good the expression is on Aloy's face. I don't know if you can see that because of the brightness of my TV. Look at this. That's another reason right there Tomb Raider would be a good remake. A remaster. Look how good this looks. There's so much that these devs could do within the time that they're doing. Like, look how long these games are taking to come out. And you mean to tell me you can't do You can't come out with a patch that's gonna give us 4K HDR graphics, visuals. Look at this. And I took pictures of, I took in-game shots of all of my games. All of them. Let's look at Rise of the Tomb Raider. Look how good you did this. Look how good this was done. Look how good this was done. You mean to tell me you guys, I'm not saying that you can't, but you had, and I'm probably not the only one that thought about this. You mean to tell me you can't think of redoing Tomb Raider 1, the very first Tomb Raider that you guys did when you was called, back when it was called Eidos Interactive? And I would also like to see Hitman Absolution. Now, granted, we bought a PS4, a next-gen console to see next-gen gaming. I get that. But at the same time, since they're remaking stuff, why not remake some of the old ones that we play? You know, if PlayStation Now has this thing where you gotta pay to rent games that you already own. Okay, what's the use of that? I'm not gonna pay for something. Look, I have. Granted, I only have like those few PS3 games, but I have a PS3 games with a cold crap load of games downloaded right over there. You mean to tell me that you're gonna make me pay for something that I already have and that I have here? Look at these games. Just look at these games. Look at the PS4 games I got. Then I got PS4 games under there too. There's some there and there's a few over there. You mean to tell me that you guys can do some of these games and then, don't tell me about the cost? Oh, it's too pricey to come up with that. If Sony said that they were gonna make these developers or have these developers, it was gonna be, I don't want to say make, but mandatory that they come out with a 4K and or HDR patch for these games, and I've yet to see it. And there's so many games out there that I would love to play a remaster of. Now, granted, I do want to see new games such as Days Gone, Death Stranding, ECT, stuff like that, etc. But at the same time, while I'm thinking about it, while I'm on remakes, remasters, Capcom, what's up with you making all of these different versions of Street Fighter? Super Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Arcade Edition, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Arcade Edition, Beta 1 version 2, Desk 3 Top 4. Like, instead of doing all these versions of Resident Evil and freaking Street Fighter, what about this one? This is a game everybody forgot about. If you're a fan of Devil May Cry, you would love this. Chaos Legion is not a bad game. This is one of the best games for the PS2. You mean to tell me you guys can't 4K this? Chaos Legion. I still have this game, and I've never once seen that kind of, heard that even talked about. No, let's keep making all these other games. Like, they won't even they remade Ninja Theory's jacked up version of Devil May Cry. Come on, man. Like, I want, like, let's talk, while I'm talking about stuff that probably never happened, let's talk about the Silent Hill, and not PT. I'm talking about the Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3. And 4 in the room. Silent Hill 3 and 4 are my favorites. But there's no way that those will get a remake now that Kojima's got. Look at this. This is a game that I'll never see. This game will never see the light of day of a PS4 remake. And it's their fault right there. But their loss is Sony's game. So, I mean, I don't mind. I don't care. Kojima should buy his rights back from Silent Hill and remake it. This is another game that'll probably never see the light of day. This was one of my favorite games. One of my favorite games. Rising Revengeance. And you will never see the light of day of a remake for the PS4. You know why? Because they got rid of Kojima. Or he quit. I don't know the whole story behind that. But yeah, I just been wanting to do this video for a while, and I've been putting it off and procrastinating. I actually contemplated stopping halfway through, but I figured since I started, I might as well finish. But you guys get what I'm saying. They made all these good remakes. I mean, why not? I would like to see a Tomb Raider remake, and I really hope that they do a good job remaking Far Cry 3, because I had a blast with Far Cry 3. Even after I platinumed it on like 3 of my old PS3, my PS3, I had like 3 or 4 different accounts, and I platinumed it on all of them, just because I enjoyed the game that much. I enjoyed the game that much. It's a lot of games. Heavy Rain. Look how good Heavy Rain is. Heavy Rain is not a 4K game. It's in standard 1080. Like I said, this is probably way before 4K. I mean, not 4K. HDR was even talked about. Well, I don't want to say talked about, but way before it was even thought about or in production. You know, look how good Heavy Rain turned out. Imagine if this was in 4K HDR. Imagine this. Look how good it would have looked. There's a lot of potential that these developers have. Yeah, that was a little blurry because I'm kind of flipping. I'll go a little slower. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys got all this technology, all these professional gamers, or not gamers. Heck, Steep even got a 4K, or not 4K. I don't know if Steep may be 4K. I know we got an HDR upgrade, and I'm thinking it is 4K. I recently booted up Steep a couple of days ago, and my screen went dark. I'm like, well, what the heck happened to Steep? And when I checked the update history, I doubt if you see it, but it's got a 4K upgrade, or not 4K, HDR upgrade. I can't really. I doubt if it's showing now. Steep is in HDR now. Okay, I doubt if they show it. It's probably way down here somewhere. Yeah, I ain't gonna look for it, but you guys get what I'm saying. Last of Us came out with a 4K HDR. Even Uncharted. Yeah, crap. Last of Us came out with a 4K. Tomb Raider HDR was out long before they talked about. I ain't gonna say long before, but Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider had ample time to come out with an HDR patch, and it doesn't have an HDR patch. Like, I didn't buy a TV to see upgrading or upscaled or freaking checkerboarded or freaking smoothed over. If I wanted to play checkers, I go get a checkerboard. You know, if I wanted to play that, that's what I would do. If I want to play board games, I go get one. I want to see full on 4K, native 4K gaming. That's what I want to see. And I think for E3, now I'm not big on Microsoft's Xbox, but they did a darn good job at taking Sony's own technology and putting all of they using Sony's technology against them. And while like maybe 75 to 80, roughly 88 to 90% of Sony's games are 4K. It's like every time I looked at Xbox stuff, like all of the Xbox stuff is like 99 to 100% in 4K. Why come all their games are in native 4K? If it ain't native 4K, it's checkerboard. It still is in 4K. And Sony can only do like checkerboard and upscaling and some native 4K. That doesn't make sense, Sony. And for me, this is my opinion. For Sony to win at E3 this year, They would not only have to come up with all 4K content along with backwards compatibility, aside from that PlayStation Now crap that you have to pay for, they would have to announce the PS5 with Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, as Microsoft has Dolby Atmos. But they would have to come up with Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, backwards compatibility, and better stability when playing these games, because I was just playing Uncharted and the game crashed on me, and they're like, Sony, you guys got to fix that. This game has been remastered. There's no way that this game should be crashing. It crashed on me twice within 30 minutes, and the second time I just didn't even bother to report it, because it's just like it doesn't make sense. No, I'm not. I got nothing bad. I'm a Sony fanboy to my heart. Yes, I am. But at the same time, I'm quite sure that there are Microsoft fanboys out there that say, "Well, Microsoft ain't that good either." Well, I'm saying Sony ain't that good either, but Sony has good content that needs work on. Like, let's talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is probably going to, when it comes out, I bet it won't be native 4K. It's probably, which is why, I mean, I've never been a big Spider-Man fan anyway. But I mean, Spider-Man looked darn good, especially Deadpool. Deadpool should not have come out in 1080. I mean, what's wrong with giving it a 4K patch? Come on, man. I got all these games here. Killing Floor ain't even in 4K. I think it's 16 or 1800. 1800 or 1600 and something. All of these games right here, this is HDR. This is HDR, 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 HDR. All of these are HDR except these two, which is why they're at the end. And then they got the remasters, the everything that's remastered. All of these are remastered. Every one of these, and not one of them is in HDR. But out of all of these, God of War looks the best. God of War should have got a 4K content. Sony 4K is your technology. Why doesn't the PlayStation 4 have a 4K player? I don't get it. But yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna sign out on that note and upload this video. But that's what I think Sony needs to win E3. They need backwards compatibility. They need better stability. They need to announce Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. Those are the four main things that I think Sony needs to win at E3. And I have a strong feeling. I ain't gonna say strong. I say I have a slight rocky, shaking feeling, but it's in the back of my mind that they're gonna announce that they maybe announce a new game along with some Death Stranding gameplay, some Last of Us 2 gameplay, and maybe there's talk of Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I don't know. But that being said, I'm going to get out of here. They might not even talk about PlayStation 5. They may mention it, but I don't know. But that being said, I'm going to get out of here and upload this video. I got to do a game collection and a movie collection tour. So check me out in a little bit for that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the likes, comments, and everything, the support. And I will see you. At Astronomicon I met also the Game Chasers and Mr. Creepypasta. Awesome guy. Awesome guy. Got his autograph and everything. Just like check out Creepypasta and Mr. Creepypasta and Game Chasers. Is awesome people. That being said, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to upload this, and I will see you guys in the next video.